Jack Travers had been through some rough landings, but this one took the cake. His ship, the Rust Bucket, was now an unidentified pile of scrap on the surface of Zavandra, a planet infamous in the outer colonies for two things: its dangerously beautiful alien women and its complete lack of understanding of human anatomy. Jack hadn't planned on visiting, but fate had a way of dumping him into bad decisions headfirst. Groaning, he sat up, rubbing his head. He had barely checked if all his limbs were intact when he heard a soft, breathy whimper from the clearing ahead. There, sprawled across a silk-draped floating platform, was the single most stunning alien woman he'd ever seen. Long, violet-tinted hair, smooth azure skin, and eyes that glowed like twin suns at dawn. She looked drenched in sweat, squirming, panting. Jack blinked. Did I just crash land into a porno? The alien woman's plump lips parted as she weakly reached out to him. H-human, please, help! Jack's first instinct was to back away. Last time he got involved with an alien woman, he ended up with a mating contract, 3 unpaid bar tabs, and a broken wrist. But this one? She looked like she was dying. Jack crouched beside her. Whoa, hey, what's wrong? Her fingers clutched his sleeve. Pee poisoned. Jack stiffened. Shit. He checked her pulse. Erratic. Body temperature? Burning up. This was bad. All right, don't panic. What kind of poison? A raspy voice interrupted. A deadly toxin. Fatal to our kind. Jack turned to see 3 tall Zyvandrian healers, their long robes practically screaming. We perform weird medical experiments. One of them studied him with a mix of awe and lust, which Jack found deeply concerning. The princess is dying, the healer continued. We have tried everything. But the poison remains. Jack looked back at the gorgeous, breathless princess, whose body trembled with an almost suggestive urgency. His brain pinged an alert. Something felt off about this situation. So, what kind of poison are we talking about? Another healer stepped forward. A biochemical imbalance. The toxin causes an overwhelming surge in her system. A fatal overload. But you are immune. Jack frowned. And you know this how? The healers exchanged glances before one cleared her throat. Humans. Your bodies resist our weaknesses. Your fluids counteract the effects. Jack froze. Fluids? Oh no. What kind of fluids exactly? He asked, voice suddenly hoarse. The sacred fluids, the lead healer said reverently. Those which only a virile male may provide. A full-body purge is necessary. Jack's eye twitched. You mean sweat, right? Silence. Spit? He tried again. More silence. Jack stared. They didn't mean sweat or spit. The princess whimpered, her breath hitching in a way that absolutely did not sound medical. Jack shot to his feet. Nope. No. Absolutely not. The healers immediately gasped. You refuse to save the princess? Jack ran his hands down his face. Lady, if you're saying what I think you're saying, then your cure sounds way too hands-on. The lead healer raised an eyebrow. But human males enjoy extraction rituals, do they not? Jack made a choking noise. Excuse me? The princess moaned. Please. I need it now. Jack spun around so fast he almost tripped. Okay, seriously, do you guys hear yourselves? This is insane. The second healer sighed. Do not be ashamed. We understand that your people release their essence through exertion. Our methods can help. Jack stepped back. I swear to every god in the galaxy, if one of you suggests milking me, I am breaking something. The healers nodded to each other, as if reaching a sacred understanding. Then we shall prepare him. Jack paled. Wait, prepare? Prepare for what? Before he could bolt, 2 muscular guards grabbed him from behind. The human must be restrained for extraction. One boomed. Jack thrashed. Are you listening to yourselves? Stop making it sound like that. The princess let out another moan. Jack internally screamed. The guards lifted him effortlessly, carrying him toward a dimly lit chamber lined with silk and candles. One healer clapped her hands. "Fetch the sacred oils!" Jack redoubled his struggle. "Oh hell no!" The doors slammed shut behind him. Jack had survived some ridiculous situations, but this? This was top-tier insanity. Bound to a floating marble platform, he struggled as the healers circled him, eyes gleaming with unsettling enthusiasm. The princess lay nearby, still trembling, flushed, and making noises Jack absolutely refused to acknowledge. "We must begin," one of them announced solemnly. Jack groaned. "Look, I'm flattered, really, but there's gotta be another way." The lead healer gestured to a bowl of shimmering gold liquid. "First, we must anoint his body to stimulate the extraction." Jack panicked. "I swear, if you pour that anywhere inappropriate." Two sets of delicate alien hands ran over his shoulders, down his chest. Jack went rigid. "Oh, for foo!" A sudden chilly splash silenced him. The golden liquid seeped into his skin, tingling. He twitched uncontrollably. The princess moaned again. Jack bit his lips so hard he almost saw God. "This will prepare you," the healer whispered. Jack twitched harder. "I am not a damn banana. Stop preparing me." Another healer leaned close. "You are resisting. That means the ritual must be intensified." Jack froze. "What does that mean?" The healer clapped her hands. The guard stepped forward with a large, pulsing crystal rod. Jack lost his mind. "What the hell is that?" "The conduit of sacred essence," the healer explained. "If your fluids do not release naturally, this will." Jack kicked a guard in the stomach, yanked his arms free, and vaulted off the platform like a bat out of hell. The healers screamed in shock. "The human resists!" Jack sprinted toward the exit, shoving past silk curtains and nearly face-planting into a wall. Behind him, guards yelled, chasing him down the polished halls of the palace. "Stop him! He must complete the extraction!" Jack ran faster. "I am not a damn space cow!" The palace doors burst open, and suddenly, Jack was outside, gasping, sweating, and trying very hard to pretend he hadn't just been 2 seconds away from being processed. Before he could celebrate, a crowd of Zyvandrians surrounded him. Dozens of tall, beautiful alien women, their glowing eyes locked on him with unsettling hunger. Jack immediately disliked how interested they looked. A priestess stepped forward. "The prophecy is true." Jack stared. "But what now?" "Our ancestors spoke of a virile being who would bring balance to our kind," she continued. "You have proven yourself. You must now serve all who require your essence." Jack's stomach dropped to his ankles. The crowd cheered. Jack almost died on the spot. "No. Nope. Absolutely not." The priestess tilted her head. "Are you not honored?" Jack threw his hands in the air. "I came here by accident. You're all talking like I'm some kind of galactic breeder." A hush fell over the crowd. A noblewoman whispered, "The human came?" Another gasped. "And conquered?" A third nodded wisely. "Then he must come again." Jack lost his mind all over again. "That is not what I said." A group of royal guards rushed him, grabbing his arms again. "He must be taken to the Grand Chamber," someone yelled. Jack thrashed. "He must be taken back to his damned ship." The princess appeared on the balcony above, still flushed, still glowing, her eyes hazy and locked onto him. "He saved me," she murmured. I need him again." The crowd erupted into cheers. Jack's soul left his body. Jack had a serious problem, and by serious, he meant an entire planet of dangerously attractive aliens who thought he was some kind of sacred dispenser of life-giving fluids. His failed escape attempt had only made things worse. Now, he was back in the palace, seated in a ridiculously oversized throne, while a council of high-ranking alien officials debated his fate. The princess sat beside him, still recovering from her poisoning, her gaze locked onto him with unsettling intensity. Jack fidgeted. "So, I'm just gonna say this now, I am not available for planetary distribution." The Grand Minister raised a hand. Human, you do not understand. Your body possesses a gift. Your fluids have proven restorative. It is your duty to serve. Jack grimaced. Yeah, see, that's the problem. You're talking like I'm some kind of cosmic milkshake machine. The council members nodded in unison. That is an accurate comparison. Jack gagged. The princess leaned closer, her voice sultry. Would it be so bad, human? To be worshipped? To have an entire civilization at your feet? Jack held up a hand. Nope. Absolutely not. I know where this is going. One minute I'm a healer, the next, you people are bottling my sweat and selling it in high-end boutiques. The Grand Minister clasped his hands. A fine idea. We shall call it Essence of Travers. Jack's soul cracked in half. For the love of, I am not a goddamn cosmic lotion brand. The council murmured excitedly. The princess smirked. He resists. That makes him even more desirable. Jack slammed his head against the throne. The guards stepped forward. Shall we prepare him for distribution? Jack shot up. No. No, you shall not! A holographic screen materialized in front of him, flashing breaking news from across the galactic network. Headlines: Mysterious human saves alien princess using forbidden ritual. Zavandra declares human fluids sacred medicine. Black market demand for human males skyrockets. New galactic currency? Intergalactic Council demands immediate investigation into the human known as the hardest working man in the galaxy. Jack sank into the chair, absolutely done with everything. A royal attendant approached, bowing deeply. Human, the high priestesses have requested you for a private consultation. Jack massaged his temples. Oh, let me guess. More extraction rituals? The attendant nodded solemnly. Jack groaned. I gotta get out of here. The princess smirked. I could help you escape. Jack narrowed his eyes. What's the catch? She leaned in, whispering. Take me with you. Jack blinked. Oh, hell no. No offense, sweetheart, but you are ground zero for this mess. I take you with me, next thing I know, I'm a walking intergalactic scandal. The princess pouted. Then perhaps I should announce that you've claimed me as your mate? Jack choked on his own breath. You wouldn't dare. The princess smirked wider. Try me. Jack felt the walls closing in. He needed a way out, fast. Jack had been in some tight spots before, but this was a whole new level of nightmare. If he didn't escape soon, he'd be spending the rest of his life as a highly sought-after intergalactic juice box. He leaned toward the princess, lowering his voice. All right, fine. You get me out of here, and I'll take you with me. But if this turns into some kind of royal marriage contract, I swear. The princess grinned. Oh, I would never trap you in something so permanent. Jack didn't believe her for a second. The plan was simple, or at least, it was supposed to be. The princess distracted the guards, while Jack snuck through the back corridors, avoiding any more priests eager to extract sacred fluids. Things were going smoothly until the alarms went off. The human is attempting to withhold his essence. Jack bolted. Stop making it sound like that. Guards swarmed the palace, cutting off every escape route. Jack and the princess sprinted toward the docking bay, but security was already closing in. Jack thought fast. All right, desperate times. He grabbed a nearby sacred ceremonial staff, lifted it over his head, and shouted in his best mystical prophet voice. Hear me, Zavandra! My essence has been depleted. I must leave to restore my virility. The entire palace froze. The guards lowered their weapons. The priestesses gasped in horror. The Grand Minister stepped forward, eyes wide with panic. You have exhausted your sacred supply? Jack nodded gravely. Indeed. If I do not leave immediately, I may never recover. Murmurs of shock and devastation spread through the court. The prophecy never spoke of this. Did we take too much? His stamina must be finite. Jack struggled not to laugh. Yes. Exactly. I require solitude and deep meditation. The guards backed away, bowing respectfully. Then we must not delay him further. The princess, barely holding back laughter, grabbed Jack's arm. We must hurry before his sacred power fades completely. Jack nodded sagely. Yes, yes. Very fragile. Very delicate situation. They boarded the nearest ship, fired up the engines, and blasted off before anyone could change their minds. As they soared into space, Jack collapsed into the pilot's seat, sighing in relief. The princess smirked. You really are something, human. Jack shook his head. Don't remind me. Moments later, his communicator pinged with new galactic headlines. The human has departed, but will he return? Galactic Council debates, should we harvest more humans? The hardest working man in the galaxy mysteriously disappears. Jack groaned, dragging a hand down his face. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot.